load things with vegetables or eat them with a lot of vegetables to ramp up the nutrient density. Anyway, okay, I digress. So I'm gonna make a creamy Mexican dip. This is also, like I said, dairy-free. So I have, and this recipe is a total cakewalk, I think. Okay, the hardest part is probably steaming the sweet potato, and that's not hard, right? So I have like a medium to large white sweet potato. I really like the white ones. I find them to be a little milder than the orange ones. The orange ones can be really sweet, and they're good, but I just have a preference for the white ones, and I like their texture. They have a little bit more of a, I don't know, creamy texture maybe, but they blend up really nicely, and they're my favorite. But you could use orange sweet potato in this if that's your jam, okay? So anyway, yeah, medium large white sweet potato. I steamed it for about 10-12 minutes just so it's tender. And that's gonna go in the food processor. This whole thing gets made in the food processor. It's like a one bowl situation, okay? If anyone is done eating at any point and wants to come up and be my helper too, you can be, I'm cool with that. But
can I eat and help at the same time?
you have to wear this.
Oh, Bruce, come on. Bruce, come on.
But you have to wear this apron.
Be a sport.
Bruce, you're a sport.
One time, Joe is a dear friend of mine, and one time we were
That color, that works for you, man.
So I know Joe is not a fan of wearing this apron because I asked him once before and I was helping him make deviled eggs. He's like, I'm not wearing that. Okay, so you can help me pour stuff into the food processor. Okay, so that's in the food processor. I'm going to add a half of a large avocado. So this is going to add even more creaminess and some good healthy fats. Do we all like avocado here?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. If you didn't, I would question things. But we could still be friends, it would be okay. Yes. Okay. And then I'll get these things while you're kind of finishing your soup first. A couple cloves of fresh garlic. And know that, like, when I share, it's interesting, when I share recipes on my site, I have to give quantities, right? Like, I have, so that people can recreate it in their own way. It's always kind of weird because I'll have to measure stuff out, and a lot of times I don't measure. But when I'm actually creating something, I have to. It's a little strange. But with that being said, always use it as a template. You know, unless it's something maybe baked where you have to be a little bit more exact. Use it as a template and then make it your own. You know, like add your own flair, or if you think it needs something that would work better for you, or maybe you like something really spicy and I don't, or whatever. You know, don't be afraid to like
Improvise.
Bingo. Improvise or just add something, right? Okay, so how about you pour this in for me? My assistant here is going to pour in a 1/4 cup of olive oil.
We didn't straighten out the details before I became your assistant. What's the pay on this?
We can talk after.
Whole thing?
Whole thing. Yep, I already have it pre-measured out. This is like, I'm used to this routine, because I think all of you know, but I go on K2 Afternoon Live once a month, so I always have to have my stuff all measured out, and in little dishes, we can just pour it in, you know, so same idea here. And then, yep, juice of 1 lime, fresh lime juice. Okay, and then we'll stop there. We're gonna add this other stuff after, and then we'll just do a little sea salt and black pepper. This is just, you know, to taste, right? Pepper. This is like the easiest dip ever, and it's so good. It kind of seems, it's almost like a healthy queso, kind of. You know, it's not queso, but it's very good. Okay, so pardon the dust for a moment. So it's blending. You get the idea. I'm gonna have to get it, you know, nice and blended because I want you all to be able to taste it. So I'm just gonna kind of mash this up a little bit more. In a moment, once this is all smooth, we're gonna add an entire, Bruce is gonna add an entire container of salsa. And then about a half cup's worth of fresh cilantro leaves. No one here thinks cilantro tastes like soap, do they?
No.
Okay, good. You know, because there is something, and this is where I just did the 23andMe thing, and this is where they predicted wrong for me, but, you know, maybe I think the odds were a little bit heavier on one end than the other. But I did the health thing too, and it came back and it said one of my traits, I was likely to think cilantro tasted like soap, because that's actually in your DNA, and I actually don't. But there are some people that don't like it because they think it tastes like soap. But 23andMe, yeah, there was a lot of interesting stuff on there, but I actually don't think cilantro tastes like soap. But, okay, good. We all like cilantro. Otherwise, I would leave it on the side if anyone was, you know.
Can we substitute soap in our...
You can try that. Tell me how it goes, but we won't do that today. Okay, I'm just going to blend this a little bit more. We'll get it good enough, and then we'll just add the rest, because, I mean, this is, you know. Oh yeah, help yourself. If you want more, please help yourself. Okay, maybe once we add the rest of the liquid, it'll blend up a little bit more. Okay, so you can use this spatula if you need it, if you want to dump in that whole container of salsa. So this is just some good fresh salsa. You can use whatever you like. I used a medium, so if you like things less spicy, then go mild. More spicy, go spicy. Or you can always add some cayenne to fire it up too. And then, yeah, might as well just put that in. Fresh cilantro, you can put all of it in.
Great.
Yeah. Okay, so hopefully this will help. I haven't made this dip in a little while, and it seems like it's being a little fussy today. We'll get there. Okay.
Because we're all staring at it.
I know! And I used to, like, perform. Even when I do the K2 thing, there's not an audience. There's just the, like, set people, you know. That sounds like it's blending a little bit better. Oh, yeah, it's going now. And it's even gonna get like a light orangish, reddish color that looks kind of cheesy. Yeah, there we go. We're in business. I'm just gonna give it another little scrape and make sure like the big chunks are broken up. Oh yeah, because there's a big chunk of avocado in there. But you can already see how it's looking.
Very nice. I'm spellbound by your apron. I'm focused on that.
Hella coordinated.
My sister got me that. I do use it sometimes. Okay. I think we're probably good. No one will mind if it might be a little chunky by chance.
Nothing like a chunk of avocado.
Yeah, right? Who gets that big golden nugget in there? Okay, I think it's pretty well blended. You may find for your taste you want more salt and pepper in it. Please help yourself. You know what? I think instead of trying to just transfer this into a bowl, you can just scoop it straight out of the container.
Yeah, okay. Very good.
Very good with those chips or veggies. Okay. And I'll move this here. So,
That was very easy.
see?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And this stuff just comes about. Sometimes I'll get inspired by something. I do use Pinterest. I look stuff up. And something might come across and strike my fancy. Or I get inspiration from traveling and trying different things to eat when I'm traveling, or even just here in Portland. Or sometimes I'll just get a random idea for something and run with it. I think that was what happened here. Who wants to be the first to try it? Maybe my assistant?
Yeah.
You can see if it needs more salt or pepper.
Neither.
There we go. And this one's good warm too. I've made it before, like right after I've steamed the sweet potato, so then it comes out a little bit warm. And it's very good that way too. But it's good cold, room temp, warm, you know.
Beautiful.
Really good.
Thank you.
Nice.
Tasty.
Any questions about this one? No? Let's take, yeah, come taste.